Okay, so yeah, let's start with the class. So let's go on to this. So today we'll be looking out Power Query. Power Query. Let me open Excel first. Let me open Excel. So this is my Excel. So Power Query is a tool that lets us import in data. It also performs some actual steps on data, but then it has much more higher configurations um, what do we call it, than just Excel. So you can see, you can actually come back to this home. You can see welcome to Excel, formulas, Power Query, Power Pivot, within Power Pivot, within charts later too. So let's come back to blank now. So now to access Power Query, you can see you don't have any way to access it direct. Let me use this. Let me use my guide. So I don't just boss and then we just get into it in anyhowness. Let us use our guide. What Power Query is? Power Query is a business intelligence tool available in Excel that allows you to import data from many different sources and then clean, transform, and reshape your data as needed. It allows you to set up a query once and then you use it with a simple refresh. So you can set up the query once and reuse it with a simple refresh. It's also pretty powerful. Power Query can import and clean millions of rows into the data model for analysis after. The user interface is intuitive and well laid out, so it's really easy to pick up. It's an incredible short learning curve when compared to other Excel tools like formulas and VBA. So I hope you get that. So we talked about formulas, we also have VBA. The best part about it is you don't need to learn or use any code to do any of it. The Power Query editor records all your transformation step by step and converts them into the M code for you, similar to how the macro recorder with VBA. If you want to edit or write your own M code, you certainly can, but you definitely don't need to. So there is what works in the background, which is M code for Power Query. So it's like it's what's on at the background. You don't even really need to know it. But you can then know it and then use it. But then you don't really need it. You just can work on it. You understand? If you want to edit your own M code, you certainly can. Now, what can Power Query do? Imagine you get a sales report in a TXT file from your system on a monthly basis that looks like what you have up there. Every month, you need to go to the folder where the file is uploaded and open the file and copy the content into Excel. You then use the text to column feature to split out data into new columns. The system only outputs the salesperson ID, so you need to add a new column to the data and use VLOOKUP to get the salesperson associated to each column. Then you need to summarize the sales by a salesperson and calculate the commission to pay out. You also need to link the product ID to the product category, but only the first 4 digits of product code relate to the product category. You create another column using the left function to get the first 4 digits. Using the first 4 digits. Now, that's quite a number of things to do. Maybe it takes an hour a month to do, but it's pretty mindless work that's not enjoyable and takes away your time from you. So if you do this an hour monthly, it takes some time from you. So you can actually instead of doing what? Instead of doing that repetitively, you can get it with Power Query. This can all be automated to click of the refresh button on a monthly basis. So instead of you having to automate, having to do all those steps, you can just click refresh button and then it does that every month. All you need to do is build the query once and reuse it, saving an hour of work each and every month. Where is Power Query? Power Query is available as add-in to download and install for Excel 2010 and 2013. So that's why I said let's have much more data, much more higher grade of Excel. In 2016, it was named Get and Transform, and it appears in the Data tab without the need to install any add-in. So you don't need to install any add-in as if you are using 2016 upward. Yes, if you are using 2016 upward, you don't need to install. Importing your data with Power Query. So now we are trying to show how to import your data with what? With Power Query. So I will just using my Excel here. So if you come to data, you say you can launch Power Query Editor without getting data. You can try to launch Power Query Editor. So Power Query is under the get data. Okay. So when you get data, importing your data with Power Query is simple. Excel provides many common data connections that are accessible from the Data tab and can be found from the Get Data. Get data from a single file such as Excel workbook, text or CSV file, XML and JSON file. You can also import multiple files from within a given folder. So you can import multiple files from a given folder. Do you understand? Get data from various databases such as SQL Server, Microsoft Access, Analysis Service, SQL Server, Analysis Server, Oracle, IBDM, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Sybase, Teradata, and SAP. All those, I don't even know some of them. Most of them are much more. Most of them are much more. What do you call it? Most of them are very much available. So yeah, get data from Microsoft as well. Just a lot of different places as we all can see here. This is still trying to open. What is trying to open? As we all can see that we have here, by the way. Okay, these are Power Query Editor. Nothing to do with it now. Just close it. And you can see get data. You see get data from file, from database, from Azure, from online service, from other sources, combined queries. There are different sources that you can get your data from. Do you understand? I understand that. So now we can make two queries together, similar to joining two queries in SQL. We can append a query to another query, similar to a union, and so on and stuff. Note, the available data connections options will depend on your version of Excel. There are couples of more common query types in the top level of the ribbon. Just explaining. Please just explaining. These are just duplicates outside the get data command for convenience of use. Since you will likely be using these more frequently, depending on which type of data connection you choose, Excel will guide you through the connection setup, and there might be several options to select during the process. I hope you all get this. So now let's try to import something, import one out of this now. Please, are we getting me? Does it make sense? Are we understanding? Hikma, Alima, are we understanding? Please, I want to know if you are getting it so that I can know if I should move on. We should continue.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can continue.
Okay. So let me show you how to just try to get the data. So we have some certain data here. You can see marketing data here in my this my folder. So I'll try to navigate them now and then use it. So say data, get data from file, from database, from Azure. So now I know my data is in like a file format. Is in the is it a workbook? So if it's in a workbook format, is it in a workbook format? It's in a CSV format. CSV format. CSV format means comma separated values format. Comma separated values format. So that's what they look like. So now I'll come back to my Excel here now. Get data from file. You can easily click here too. You can easily click here too. Easily click here too. So now you come to desktop. So you try to navigate where your data is. You try to navigate where your data is. Synctellect DA, Excel, and you can see marketing data. It will only show you the file that aligns with it. So I'll just say click on this. You can see now. So it will bring this up, showing me this and saying, okay, yeah, come and work with this. So it's showing me now. This is something that does not have a lot of good data, by the way. The data is just so complicated. So complicated. Okay, I think I should work more with the former one. Let me cancel. Let me select I'm only this instead of let me take this marketing data instead of this copy. I think this should go. That's contains a very rough one, a very rough. Let me see if this has. Yeah, this is the main data. This is how the main data looks like. I hope you understand. This is how the main data looks like. Now you can load it in directly, or you can transform it. You can load it in directly or transform it. So you can just click on transform, and then based on that, you are inside Power Query Editor now, and you can start transforming inside of Power Query. I hope that makes sense. So you can see that's how that looks like. A minute, I want to zip water. Let's carry on. So now you can see data preview. At the end of the setup process, you will come to the data preview window. You can view a preview of the data here to make sure it's what you're expecting. A simple example of importing data in Excel file. So we are showing an example, something I've showed us. Let us see it. Let's see. So you can see, go to the data tab, select on just the way I selected those ones earlier. Select on it and load. So we can click load to or edit. So we can see my one is what? Transform. This transform. So afterwards, let me try to read this outwards. After selecting the file you want to import and data preview navigator window will open. This will give you a list of all the objects available to import from your workbook. Yeah, things that we've done. Things that we've done, I think. Things that we've done, and we can just edit and load it in. So yeah, we're in a very good place now. So yeah, let's see what they say. What they say here. Import. I think our own Excel has gone far more than this. Has gone far more than this, and then we could actually it has actually loaded it in for us, and then we are at this point now. We are at this point. So now I can see my screen. The query editor. This is how the Power Query Editor looks like. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections that this tutorial wants to use to explain for us. Now let's come to. So after going through the guide, connecting your data and selecting the edit option, you will be presented with the query editor. This is where any data transformation steps will be created or edited. There are 6 main areas in the editor to become familiar with. The ribbon, number 1, the ribbon. You can see this ribbon up here. This ribbon up here. That's number 1. The user interface of the editor is quite similar to Excel. Yeah, it's quite similar to Excel. And you know, we've learnt Excel. We've learnt Excel in the normal way. We've learnt Excel. So we won't be doing this too. For this, we won't be doing now without learning this one by one. Since we've learnt Excel, we won't be doing that one by one. We'll just be like working with it as needed. We will be working with it as needed. Can you even see my screen? Okay, that's my screen. So query lists. This number 2, the query list. This area lists all the queries in the current workbook. You can navigate to any query from this area to begin editing. You can see the query list. So now, if you are getting different data, different amount of data, you have your query list here. Data 1, customer data, sales data, any data, you'll be seeing them here. You'll be seeing them here. You'll be seeing them here. So that's where the query list, that's where they are. So now after the query list, we have what? After the query list, we have data preview. This area is where you see a preview of the data with all the transformation steps currently applied. Data preview. Number 3. Number 3, a preview of the data. This is a preview of the data, where you see all what the data looks like. You can also access a lot of information, transformational commands here, either from filter icon in the column heading with a right click. So you can access a lot. Formula bar. This place that shows our formula. This place that's our formula. Let me show us here. This is our formula bar. You can see this aspect here. This is our formula bar. This is where you can see and edit the M code of the current transformation steps. Each transformation you make on your data is recorded and appears as a step in the applied area. Properties. This is where you can name your query when you close and load the query into an Excel table. So 5 properties. Let's come to 5 properties. Yeah. So 6 now, applied step. This area is a chronological list of all the transformation steps that have been applied to the data. You can move through the steps here and view the changes in the data preview area. You can also delete, modify, or reorder any steps in the query here. You can delete, reorder, and do some stuff based on all the steps here. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? I don't understand it. I'm just reading it for us. We could actually practice, just practice. Okay, I think sending this to us. Query lists. So they are talking about things that we can do on the query list. I think this is too. Did I say it's too detailed, or what should I call it? Well, it's going to take a lot of our time. It's going to take a lot of our time. So you can copy and paste, you can delete, you can rename, duplicate, move to group, move up, move down, create function. You can do a lot of things here. You can do a lot of things. But trust me, I won't be share this. Let me even share it now to the group. Let me share this now to the group so that we can complete Power Query guide. Okay, do we have please? Let me share this now to the group so we can read up on it. But trust me, rather than reading up on it, I think we can easily work on it together here. We can easily work on it together, and then based on that, we can then now be very much more familiar rather than reading out step by step. But please do read as beginner, do read it. So a very good aspect to data preview. Just a lot. This is a lot. I feel like this is a lot of unnecessary stuff that we have right now. I think something here would be much more easy to understand. So let me just send both in for you to read. For you to read. Oh no. Oh, okay. So I've sent it. I'm sending it in, so you can just go through it and read it. So then let's see what we have now. Let's see what we have here. So now this one, there is a lot of this is how it looks, and there's a lot of things that we can perform on it. A lot of things we can do with this. So first thing step, now we're going to go to the analysis aspect now. So I won't be teaching us this, I will teach us in relations analysis now. So I'll try to teach us in the steps of analysis, reading our data, cleaning our data, analyzing them, visualizing them, and actually communicating with them. Do you understand? So we are getting to now we are getting to just using Excel for now, using Excel for data analytics. Using Excel for data analytics. So one of the first steps in data analytics is collecting of data. Now this data we already have it. We already what? We have it already. We have it already. So we can with that we can say we want to do anything on it. So we are not the one getting it for ourselves. People have gathered it for us, and now we can now use it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, coming to the second aspect. Second aspect, which is cleaning. Now we have it. I want to check, is this that clean? Is it clean enough? Is it clean enough so that we can use it? So we have 3 different steps for cleaning also. Not 3, we have quite a number of them. We have removing or replacing null values. I'm saying this verbatimically, so I didn't write it down, so you cannot try to note them down. So removing of null values, removing of duplicate values, removing or replacing of null values. There are some cases when you remove null values, there are some cases when you replace them. You understand? So removing or replacing of null values, removing of duplicates, giving data their correct format, being their correct format. I can see Power Query is very smart. it can assign different values to what do we call it, to data types. Now we have ID. We have ID as 1, 2, 3, year of birth as 1, 2, 3, but in the revision, this should be in what? This should be in a date format. This should be in a date format, but it is just year. It is not the date of birth, just year. So we have this as this. So education, it is numeric, so we have this. Marital status, numeric. Income, you can see income is saying what? It's money. It's currency. That's why it's giving us the dollar sign. Do you understand? So it's even sensible enough. Now you can see it's taking date customer. DT customer, maybe the date the customer joined or something, I don't know. So you can see it's taking that what? It's taking that a date rather than what taking that a text. So even Power Query is sensible enough to even help us categorize, but with that, it can still make mistakes. So we have to cross verify and cross check, like, okay, is this doing it in the perfect correct way? You understand? It is doing it in the perfect correct way. Yeah, we then go through it. We then go through it. Does that make sense? So that's that. So we have quite a number of steps after making them in the standard value. Yeah, you can sorting. Yeah, sorting might not even be really needed. Sorting might not be really needed. One of the things that you will still be doing, yeah, coming across those steps as much more as we work on different projects together. So now after cleaning finish now, we now start to explore. We start to try to get insights from the data. We try to get insights from the data using what? Using different techniques to maybe pivot tables, summarizing the data, getting some information from the data. After doing that, now before we even move on, let us load this in directly. I want to load in, close and load. So you can see now, and I have this marketing data as a table. You can see now I have it as a what? As a table inside my Excel. Does that make sense? Now this is the data set. It is coming in as a table now inside this place. I'll show you the difference. Now, I would like people, when you want to work with data in Excel, try to bring it in through Power Query rather than just using it plainly in Excel. Do you understand? So now, this sheet now, you can do anything. You can call anything from this data now and do it in this sheet. Do you understand? I don't know if you understand. So this is how it looks like. So let's say if I want to clean now, I will not start cleaning here. I will not start saying remove duplicates here. Do you understand? I would come back to my query here. I would say I want to edit my query. It will open the Power Query editor for me, and I should perform anything I want to do. Perform it in Power Query and now load it in. Now do what? Now load it in. So now I'll see close again. I'll close again because I know this is what I want to do. Now I'll show us the step if it is what I'll save. Am I saving this? I'm not saving it. We've not started declaring, so I'm not saving it. Now I'll show us the steps if it's just what? If it's just what do we call it? Just loading into Excel directly. Now let's come into this guy. Marketing data. Let me copy this. Control C. I'll copy it to this root folder. Copy to this root folder, and I will change the name to what? Say underscore testing. Now I want to open this data. You see the difference between working on it directly or loading it in through what? Through Power Query. You can see now I have this directly inside Excel. I can start doing cleaning, transformation, doing everything on it. But then it's not really advisable. You can see, so when more data comes in here now, I have to still do that same process. I have to do it again on that new data that comes in. But if it is with Power Query, I can just click on the refresh button, and then all the steps that I performed earlier it does them again, and then we are able to move on. Do you understand? So that's what Excel using Power Query looks like. And now this is in a what? Comma separated value. You have to like change it to what? An Excel workbook before you can save it easily. Now for this one now, a simple way you can use for this is changing it to a table. I can say Control T now. Control T will do what? Okay. Control T would change it to a table. You can see it has changed it to a table similar to what we have in that. But now it is not, we cannot even go and what we call it. We cannot edit it in what? In Power Query. It's not seen as a data. It is just seen as okay, an Excel data imputed. Do you understand? So I hope you get that. And when you are doing some things on it, you have to like still repeat it on it. But if it's a Power Query, you can just enter in and do your stuff the way like. Do you understand this? Do you understand? Is it clear? I want to know, is it clear? Do we get it? Do we all get it? Because I want to pause here, and in our next class, we'll be doing a main project together. Because now I've introduced us to Power Query, you have to do a project on it. And then before we move on.
Yes, we're following.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I think we can stop here for today. We can stop here for today. Now, next class, please come with full force because our next class should be Tuesday. Our next class should be on when?
On
Friday.
Friday.
Our next class should be on Friday. So, yeah, I think Friday we'll get together cleaning. So now we're going to analysis. You know, we are done with Excel now. I think the analysis aspect now. Cleaning, we'll do the summarization, analysis, and visualization might take time. We might not be able to visualization, but we'll start the project on this marketing data, start the project and till where we can. Does that make sense, guys? So, yeah, thank you very much for joining in. Any questions so far? Any question, please?
No questions. I already know how to, for my explanation, I already know how to load the data to Power Query, so I understand that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye. And for people watching us, I'll be watching us probably on YouTube. Just subscribe, follow, and like. Thanks. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you very much.